All praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I just want to watch this video real quick, and we're probably going to watch another one too.
1970, the average home was $15,000. It is now $436,000. It has gone up 29 times. Rent was 108, is now 2,000. That's gone up 20 times. College was 500, it's now $11,000. That's gone up 20 times. Gas was 36 cents, it's now 380. That has gone up 10 to 12 times. But what about the income? In 1970, the average person was making $9,000. Today, they're making $56,000. That has only gone up 6 times compared to everything else. But this is where it gets sad. In 1970, the average household had 3.5 children. Today, it's only 1.9. And the crazy part is that back in 1970, the average household, 47% were dual income. It has now jumped to 65% is dual income. So millennials and Gen Zers under the household are putting in more hours than the boomers did. We're both working 40 hours a week. But you got way more bang for your buck and more children. You got to expand your family, own a house. Things are so drastically different. The birth rate is plummeting because people can't afford it. So we need to make a change so that we can turn this around. The birth rate.
So another interesting thing is, in 1970, a house was $15,000, and your average wage was $9,000, according to what this guy is saying, which means within 2 to 3 years, you would be able to buy a house within 2 to 3 years. In 2023, at an average wage of $56,000,
is plummeting because
without spending a single dime, it will take you up to almost a decade straight to buy a house, right? Up to almost a decade, right? And this isn't even including bills, you know, because you gotta factor in bills, factor in tax, factoring the rent now, factoring what's it called? Emergencies, car payments, working on a car. So for instance, car repairs, trying to have fun. So darn near this, it darn near take you about maybe even 2 decades just to try to buy a house. And on top of that, with the bills included, it will probably take you around almost 2 decades, right? And that's not even factoring in the rising cost of food, the inflation, and just the ever-rising increases of houses, and the stagnation, basically the slow raising of wages. Basically, with $56,000 a year, it would not be possible for you to really even, I have to say it, but really buy a house, you know? Because by the time a person saves up to $448,000 to buy a house after a decade, that house probably costs $2 to $3 million. So we're gonna go here again, and we're gonna watch this video right here.
Guys, listen up. They're going to stop food stamps next month. It's going to be a new requirement, a new program. You have to be at least working 20 hours to 80 hours a month. And you guys know, working 20 hours, 80 hours a month, that money that you're working from your job is going towards bills. And whatever you got left over goes to food, which ain't gonna be much. And definitely if you have kids, depending on where you live. Because you know the rent is like $1,600 to $2,000. Your work is basically good enough to pay all the bills, but not put food on the table. Because you have to take care of yourself. And having a benefit card give you eligibility to put food on the table and not worry about that. But now that's about to come to a close if you ain't working more than 20 hours to 80 hours a month. I still get food stamps, regardless of the money I make a month. Those food stamps come in handy, it's helpful, and I don't have to worry about spending any money. And I'm gonna tell you this, for people who have kids, especially how high rent is and how high grocery is, bro, this is going to be chaos. You're going to see destruction. You're going to see strikes. You're going to see things get hectic out here. I know this personally, especially with the migrant crisis. And then people already can't afford to pay their rent struggle. Now you're taking EBT. It's going to be hell. And this is where the mark of the beast come into play. And people have to do scan pay. One world government, one world order. It's about to get really dangerous and scary out here, bro. Get fucking ready, man. It's happening.
So there's a scripture. It says, according to Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn. And because evil is in rulership, he is the border of wickedness. The people are mourning, not only in America and in Western countries, but all around the world, because E's vibration is upon the whole world, right? Darn, people can't even eat, even having food stamps. People can't pay their rent. This, or people are struggling to pay their rent. And their life is going towards bills, So it's becoming expensive to live, right? And it's all being set up for this right here. Alright, let's get the scripture right here. And he calleth, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? So the sea hip is definitely coming, and a matter of fact, I think an apostle said that it's not coming, it's here. The sea hip is already here, right? The implementation is coming, but the sea hip is already here. So just get ready, Remember, we're gonna have to go through a bit more suffering, but we're gonna do it for the Lord, you know what I mean? You gotta come out of this like fine gold, Let's get this right here. It says right here in Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9, amazing scripture. "Now bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call my name, and I'll hear them. And I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God," right? So the elect, the 1/3, is going to be brought through the fire, and they're going to be refined as silver, and they're going to be tried as gold, right? So we're going to truly, Lord willing, I am of the elect, but the elect, the 1/3, the 144,000, are truly going to be a people modeled, after the heart of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So I hope this lesson was very edifying. Just gotta endure a little more, man. Those that endure to the end, the same shall be saved, right? Matthew 24, chapter 13. "He that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved." Shalom. Hope this lesson was very edifying to the hopeful elect and to the elect. And shalom.